In this video, we are going to continue our learning about how to find the inverse of a function. So remember, whenever our directions say find the inverse, what we need to think about are that x and y are going to switch spots. So our x and our y are going to trade places. So this first equation is going to become x equals 4y. And now we need to get y by itself. So to get y by itself, I will need to divide by 4 on both sides. 4 divided by 4 cancels, and y comes down. Now on the left-hand side, what we need to think about is that an x always has a 1 in front of it. So I'm going to put a 1 in front of this x. So when I take 1x divided by 4, I can make that into a fraction 1 over 4x. Notice how these two values here, 1 and 4, became the fraction that I had in my answer. And as always, when we go to write our final answer, we like to put the y equals at the beginning. So y equals 1/4 x. Now when you type this in the computer, what it will look like is y equals 1/4 with an x behind it. This is how you will type that answer into the computer. For our second problem, again I need to think about the x and the y switching places. So this equation will become x equals 2/3 y. Now, to get the y by itself, what we need to do is cancel this fraction that's in the front. Whenever our fraction is a coefficient, whenever our coefficient is a fraction, what we do is multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to put multiply, and then I'm going to take this fraction, and I'm going to make the reciprocal, meaning I'm going to switch the numbers. So I'm going to multiply by 3/2. And I will do that to both sides of my equation. So what happens is that the 2/3 and the 3/2, they cancel each other because they are reciprocals. And the y comes down. And on the left-hand side, I will simply put 3/2 x. But now when I write my final answer, I always like to put y equals at the beginning. And when you go to type this into the computer, it will look like y equals 3/2x.